Does the Air Force, the 2017-2018 version of the Air Force Falcons, win that game on Saturday night?
Ooh, um, I don't know. It was. I'd like to say yes. I'll say this. Let me answer it this way. I don't know if the 2018-19 team wins it 6 weeks ago. Let me say that. I think as we've grown along since early December till now, gave us the confidence and to make the plays down the end to win that game on Saturday. And it's I know we say this a lot in basketball, but it's hard to win on the road. I know people say, and I don't know. I was thinking about that today, and I asked our staff. In baseball, maybe the dimensions are different in the outfield, down the line or in center field, and football, but it's still 100 yards. Other sports, but basketball, officiating on the road is different. The perception of shooting, backdrops, people closer to the floor or not close, it just seems different, And sometimes you hear people say, well, how'd they lose to that team or how'd they lose to this team? Well, that other team wants to win too, right? You play against them, they want to win. They've got 13 guys on scholarship. I mean, they're playing hard. We didn't get off to a good start on Saturday, but we came back, from 13 to go into the first overtime. And then it was crazy after that. I mean, it was a long shot that went in. Our shot to win the game, I was standing right behind Chris, and it looked good, looked right on. And then when it hit and bounced up, I said, oh, and then went right through. It was just crazy. But, Ryan Swan had 17 rebounds. Now, we missed 56 shots, so there's a lot of rebounds coming off. I mean, we missed 56 shots, and our guys had to ice their arms down afterwards. I mean, we missed a lot of shots. But he played well. Lavelle was really good in the post defensively. Sid Tomes didn't have a turnover. And then we made some shots when we needed to. So that was a long answer there. But anyway, yeah, that's a great question. But I'd say that this team maybe 6 weeks ago doesn't win that game on Saturday.
And to add on to that, do you notice a difference when at halftime it's not good, and then at the end of regulation things are going good, and then you think you win it and you don't? Do you notice that this team is a little bit more even-keeled than maybe even they were a few weeks ago?
I do, because the emotions were up and down. I mean, you have a chance to win it in regulation. You don't. Probably are ready to get on the bus and get your pizza. After the first overtime, you're not going to win. You come back. But every time the timeout with a stoppage and play, they were just like you said. And our older guys, Lavelle and Purvis and Ryan, just said, we got this. We got this. We're going to make the play. And you trust them, and they did. And I will say this, after watching on review again, the shot they threw at the end, I mean, it grazed the rim. I mean, an inch and it goes in. It's just, wow. Yeah, it was close.
And from an individual standpoint, for Joyce he has that pass that to no one in particular, and goes out, and that could have been a big turning point. Right. Talk about his bounce back ability, his stick-to-itiveness, that he has that bad play, but he makes up for it with so many others down the stretch after that.
I think he, along with a lot of others on our team, have done a great job forgetting and going to the next play. And I think that shows their growth and their development throughout the season, and that's been neat to see, not only him but with some other players. But you're right. I mean, there was a turnover, and you could hang your head and maybe not even want the ball to take the shot. So it was neat to see and great to see us do that, and in particular him as well.
Coach, you mentioned the growth, and you said that 6 weeks ago that team doesn't win that game. So what does that growth encompass? What does it mean? Is it just being more mature on the floor? Is it being more determined?
I think it is, and I think a part for us is we got everybody on the floor now together, and even though maybe they've not missed games, we had guys missing practice because of one thing or another, an injury, a sickness, or whatever, and it always seemed we never had our whole group together. So you're always making some adjustments, and finally we have the last 3 weeks, I think, have had everybody, with LaShawn being back, and that's given them an opportunity to play together, because they've played together all the summer and pick up games and all those things, and we were hoping to have some of this earlier, but we didn't. So it is their growth, their development. They really like each other. I think that's important. I said that to them afterwards in the locker room. This team really cares about each other, 1 through 15 or whatever, how many we have, and they get along so well, and that carries over onto the floor.
You mentioned just how Chris's shot went in, hit the rim, went up, went down, and then their shot grazing the rim. sometimes it's better be lucky and good. And
It
you're
is.
feeling like that right now?
Yeah, yeah, and I truly, at the end, I told their coaches this and their athletic director, I felt bad for their team because, they haven't had the wins, the success and wins this year, but they've played hard in all their games, and they've been in some games, they haven't been in some games, but they had an opportunity to win that game on Saturday, and I really felt bad for their kids because they did everything right, maybe except the last one, and we had the ball, and so I hope they continue and grow and do their things because they are going to win some games, and their effort was outstanding, and they were so big. I mean, they had a 6'9" point guard. I mean, they played on Saturday. I mean, their size bothered us, and they played a zone, they packed it in. But when you have 6'9" and 6'7", 6'6" out front, and their length, we struggled getting inside that, and that's where all those threes came from. I mean, is that a record for most threes ever taken? Probably a record for most threes missed in a game too, probably.
So you win 4 of your last 5.
Yeah.
And now you said the guys like playing with each other, but are you seeing the confidence in their eyes that they know, like when they step on the court, they're going to be competitive and they'll now have a chance to win?
I do. I think so. And they've liked playing with each other from the beginning, even when we lost some games. They're just really a close group. But now getting to see their hard work pay off and get wins. And, again, we started – we talked to them in the locker room after the game when the conference talked about the preseason. We were picked 10 out of 11. And then when the season started, after the first 3 games, we were 11 out of 11. We were in last. And now we're in the middle. We've won 4 or 5. The loss we had was to Nevada. We were winning at halftime, and they're a top 10 team in the country. Here on out, we told them we can't move backwards. We got to continue to move forward and keep playing hard and trusting each other. And there's some tough games coming up with the next one, actually, at San Diego State because they're really good at home. But we're excited about where we're at right now. We got to stay healthy and then keep playing together.
Coach, when you were recruiting Chris, he seems like a kid who really believes in himself, even when things aren't going well. Is that what you saw in him, and is that why you wanted to bring him?
Yeah, Coach Kanaski saw him early, or we saw him I'll never forget an AAU tournament he was playing in Las Vegas. And it was in one of those back gyms, and it's like 10 o'clock at night on Saturday, the last weekend of recruiting. And you're in Las Vegas at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. You don't want to be in a back gym watching a game, right? There's other places you want to be. Maybe at the sushi place with Brent right next to the gas station. I never eat sushi from there, but anyway, that's Brent. But he had a breakaway, and a defender got in front of him, and Chris took off from almost a free throw line. And I'm thinking to myself, what is he trying to do? And he went in to dunk it. He was able to get to the rim to dunk it, but his legs were undercut by the defender, and he fell hard to the floor. And he bounced right back up. And I said, there's some toughness in that kid. Obviously some athleticism and some toughness. I said, we got to get a chance to recruit this kid and hopefully get him. That was the one play that stuck out in my mind.
You've already beaten San Diego State once. Now you're going to their house, and you just mentioned how tough it is. Why is it so tough playing there?
They're 16 points better at home, and they're scoring. Their percentages are up and all those things. And I know the crowds were up and down early, but they had a sellout or close to sellout on Saturday against UNLV, about 11,000. They're loud. As any team at home, you're more confident at home when playing in front of your crowd and your own rims and those type of things. And we haven't beaten them since 2005 out there. So it's been a challenge for us. We've had some close ones. We've had some not so close ones out there. And again, I'm sure on their mind is we are not going to lose the Air Force twice and get swept by them. So it'll be a really challenging game for us, but one that we're looking forward to, and get tested on the road by a really good team and see how we fare.
They always say winning makes a lot of things better. Obviously, you're winning 4 out of 5. Have you noticed a difference in, I don't want to say attitude maybe, but I don't know, is there more smiles?
There is. That's a great point. It'll be easier to practice today after you win on Saturday and win those games. When you drop some games, then you're always looking for a motivational tactic to use or whatever it may be. And, we woke up on Sunday at 5:30 and had a 6:15 departure on the bus. I mean, that's early. That's early. But everyone's on time and they're smiling, and those are better than after a loss. So, yeah, you do notice there's a little bit more bounce in your step for sure.
Would you have normally come back right now? Because with 2 games in California?
Yeah, because we would have missed too much class. So if we'd have played Tuesday, we'd have stayed out. It'd just been financially better for us. But because there's a team in our league that played at Colorado State on Saturday and is going to play Wyoming, and they're staying here. But that means they're going to miss class Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and they'll probably not get back Thursday. That's 4 days of class. And not so much, I mean, I don't want to miss. Our guys don't want to miss. I mean, they feel bad when they miss class, and they get behind. So that gives them a chance to have class today, and we'll be in class all day tomorrow, and then we'll practice tomorrow and fly out tomorrow night. And the best thing about us on our San Diego trip is after we land tomorrow, we'll go to In-N-Out Burger. Oh, yeah. We'll load up. Garney's been there. Garney eats some In-N-Out burgers now. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He sneaks back in line and gets another one. How many did you have, Garney? I just had one. He got sauce all over him, onions on him. You know, he's got 4 wrappers in his hand. I just had one.
So during this 5-game run, bench scoring favors you guys 125-78.
Wow. That's good.
How important has that bench been?
It has been. I think like Caleb Moore scoring off the bench for us the other day. Chris Amika. Purvis has been in and out, but that's been big for us to get that scoring off the bench. We need that, and we've got some guys. I don't know if we have 5 starters. We get some other guys that possibly could be in there, but can only start 5, so it's been good for us. We have to have that.
Is it the best depth you think you've maybe had since you've been here?
It's good depth. Yeah, it is. It's because it's interchangeable. Let me say that. I don't want to say it's best. I want to say it's more interchangeable. Like a Keaton and Amika can play on the perimeter, but on the post. So it gives you a chance. Sid can handle the ball, not handle the ball, people in and out. So I think we have a little bit more interchangeable parts.
And the lineup you've kind of settled into,
Right.
Is that still up for negotiation?
Yeah, it is. It could depend on matchups at times, and it could depend, obviously depends on health, if guys are healthy or not. But it's been a good defensive lineup. I think the reason why we've won some games is our defense has been pretty good. Even though we've given up some points, but we've been better defensively in the last 5-6 games than we were early on. And we've been more consistent defensively. Now watch, we give up like 800 points on Wednesday. But, no, it's been good. We've rebounded. We've taken away penetration. We've taken away some second shots. Taken away some interior play. So that group has helped us really defensively.
But you've also been, the last 2 games you've been down by 13 or
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
Is there a chance that Chris Joyce slides in at the 2 and maybe to give you a little more offense?
You thought about that. Maybe it helps, but sometimes players are a little bit more comfortable to settle in early and watch and then get a chance to see what's happening and know what their purpose is once they step in. So as of right now, we'll stay probably with the same lineup here Wednesday, but going forward, you never know. Yeah, because you don't want to always have a deficit, of 10, 12, 13 points and then get going, yeah.
And it seemed like free throws had kind of been fixed.
Oh, they were
for the
good,
last,
Joe.
like,
Yeah,
5
yeah.
games.
Oh, man. Because we were number 1 in the conference going into that game. And then we were 4-14. But they were 9-20. So we only missed 10. They missed 11. Yeah, so we were a little bit better there.
How do you address it, or do you just
Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. You miss that 2-foot putt. Don't talk about it. Right? I think our guys go up there try to make it, But some were close, some weren't. And it snowballs. One guy goes up and misses 2, and then you get fouled again. Next guy say, okay, and then those 2 clank, and the next 2, Wow. We'd have had those, we could have been home a little bit earlier. We'd have won a regulation, but I don't know. It happens.
And what do you think San Diego State's going to do differently? I mean, after what?
I think they'll press us a lot more. And then I would think this. I'm not the smartest guy. But we missed 36, 37 threes, right? I think they'll play zone. When you miss that many shots, I think they'll play a lot of zone. I just think they'll press us and fall back into a zone and say, okay, here we are, make some shots. And
How did they defend you?
they played us all zone in the first half here, and then they played us all man in the second half. And they got it to 4, and then we spaced it back to 16. They eventually won by 14, and we were at 14 at the half. So I anticipate them, they'll play in a lot of zone, I think.